So here's an idea for a game that I have that I will probably work on for the next 5 years, probably. But and I've been kind of simmering this idea for the past 2 years. I've played thousands of games in my life, and I know that I need to make a game in my life. And I'm sharing this idea because they say ideas are dimes a dozen, and maybe somebody smarter and better at game development than me kind of picks up on that idea, and I can play this game without even making that. Or it will be maybe an LLM that takes this and codes it and, have fun with that. So the basic idea of this game is that you are a demigod that takes care of his people, right? You start out with 2 people, you settle in a region, in one of few regions. Each has kind of a different mechanics to it, because I like the idea of replayability, and I wanted to make a game that I could play for the rest of my life in a way, and that others can play as well. And you start out with 2 creatures, and the way you control your civilization, so to speak, is twofold. The first one is through decrees, which basically, if you think that about it, that you're watching a simulation of your creatures and civilization, like they are doing the things, and you're just guiding them with basically a decree is a change in the variable of the simulation, right? You can say, for example, oh, child labor is okay now. And this will kind of simulate a society in which children work. I wanted to have this kind of philosophical edge to it that, for example, Frostpunk has, right? Now, the other way you control your people or kind of influence the outcome of your society is that whenever a new creature is born, your job is to craft it. And I like the crafting of Path of Exile. I like that system a lot. I don't understand it, but I like it. So I want to recreate that kind of on my own. So you're taking account the parents of the creature, but then you have some roles with the resources that you gather throughout the game, or your people kind of gather. So you have to be kind of mindful, to get what you want, kind of, or to improvise with what you get. And this is the phase 1 of the game, okay? Now, in that kind of whole area of the game, there is a big bad boy. There's a kind of common enemy of everyone. Now you can make your civilization fight other civilizations if that's what you want. But the ultimate kind of goal, and everyone knows that, is to fight the big bad boy. Now there are 2 interesting aspects of the big bad boy. The first one is that the big bad boy kills half of the settlements each phase. Like, think about, a month-long season or a 3-month-long season, who the fuck knows? But he kills half of the population, half of the players, right? So you get 2 types of players after the season ends. You got those who survived the attack and proceed to phase 2 of the game, which is a bit different. And you got people who get fucked up. The latter one, the second, the fucked up boys, need to restart the game, but they have lore, kind of the story of the people before them, that enables you to be more unique in your next play, kind of to have different sort of unique flavors in the game. Because you played the game, yes, you got killed by the big bad wolf, but 2 people survive and they do a new settle, and they have this kind of forgotten knowledge type of shit, the fingerprints of the gods. So each time you get kind of killed, it's, I had this thing, but then again, you have this pantheon, you have this, the great story of your civilization, and it kind of accumulates, if you get killed like 5 times in a row in 5 seasons, and you get very unlucky because that's like, low chance, then you get a really unique, quirky kind of civilization to go through, because you have accumulated much a lot of lore, so you have different starting point, you have different ways to manipulate your civilization. So that's kind of the replayability, and that's something that hardcore players of games enjoy. So yeah, it might be a good idea. It is a good idea. Now, the happy people who get into phase 2, like the phase 2, I really like phase changes, and I really like games that kind of are one game and then are another game. Like good examples of that is Evoland for mobile, and let's say Inscription was a really cool game. Yeah, Inscription is a very good game. You should play it. So in the phase 2, have you played Black and White? It's an old game where when you were a deity and you had this kind of creature like a cow or a lion or a tiger that you... So yeah, in phase 2, you essentially get a creature that is a third way you can interact with your world, and it gives you more direct interaction with the world, but you have to go to phase 2 to get it. There's a phase 3 for players who are 2 times back-to-back lucky, and I won't say anything about phase 3 right now. There is a different change. There is a kind of difference in being phase 3, but that's that. Like, you get to phase 3, you get to do as much damage as you can to the big bad boy, because you're gonna die. Like, if you go to phase 3, like, the big bad boy knows that you're there. Like, the Eye of the Sauron sees you and it will fuck you up. So it's kind of, you're trying to Valhalla the shit out of your people to do as much damage to the big bad boy. Now, another interesting thing about the big bad boy, the second interesting thing, besides, being the Thanos random 50% of the players get wrecked, is that the big bad guy has 1 billion health points. Like, it's 1 billion. Because I want it to take some time to kill the big bad boy, because when the collective playerhood kills the big bad boy, the whole game ends. Like, that part of the game ends. And then I want to move to another phase of the game. And it will be a completely different game. I like collectible card games, and I want players, when they kill the big bad boy, like the kind of lore story, the story of it will be, okay, we killed the big bad boy, now we can live in peace, and the simulation will kind of go off, and it will be kind of set in, like, you could just watch that. You don't have any deity, there's no big bad boy. The people forget that there is a god, because the big bad boy is not there. So, if there's not a big bad boy, there is no a big good boy to believe in, because you don't need to. So then the simulations are taken away from the players, and they just run on the server, and you can take a look at there, and they're probably run for a week, and they'll kill each other off, and it will be a fun article in New York Post about, hey, we suck. But then the game will proceed to be a collectible card game that will be based upon the entirety of the story of fighting the big bad boy. Does that make sense? Now, if you are a very good game developer and you like that idea, just fucking code it. Like, be faster than me, it still won't be my game. So you can earn as much money as you can from it, or you can take pieces of it. I don't care. Like, I'm doing it not for money. I'm doing it because I need to do it. I need to have a game to my name that I can play. And I think the ideas there, kind of as an overarching philosophical thing, are really good. Yeah. Let me know what you think. Like, I don't care, but let me know what you think. Subscribe and like. Fucking